digital solutions to overcome uncertainty in your operations. Joining us today to speak about that, Chad Zollman, Chief Sales Officer for North America for TGW Logistics. Chad, it's good to see you, welcome.
Thank you, Russell, appreciate the time.
Chad, I think we have probably seen quite a few very interesting trends that are taking place in the last couple of years, ever since the lockdown. And of course, interesting things were happening before then. Well, walk us through, what you have witnessed, what we're seeing today, some of the big things that are happening in your estimation.
Sure, I think first and foremost, what's still a trend is labor scarcity. From our standpoint, the pandemic didn't change that. Our customers, by and large, are all having the same issues they had prior to the pandemic and currently now through the pandemic. So I think that pure problem and pain point that they're having generates more interest in automation. I think the second trend that we've seen, and we all knew the market for automation would increase, all the projections said so pre-pandemic, but we've seen it accelerate significantly through the pandemic because of the additional labor scarcity, because of the consumer demand. We really saw from our standpoint a heavy interest in automation from the customer base. How can they add automation to their supply chain portfolio? In what amount? Where's the right investment for their operations? And I think lastly, the trends associated with both of those factors is a hesitance. So I think our customer base is looking at their overall volumes, looking at their order profiles, looking at their changes business models through the pandemic and saying, I'm not sure how to plan for the future. I know I need automation, but I'm not sure how to plan for that. So pre-pandemic, our volumes took us to X. Now I'm looking at post-pandemic and it's X divided by 2 or 2X, really depending on what they're looking at. And what they're looking in windows is saying, do I go with the pre-pandemic model, or do I look at this last 2-year developments that have happened, and that's going to maintain itself for the next 5 years? Because obviously these are long-term conversations and discussions as it relates to ROI models, as it relates to asset purchases.
Chad, we're apparently not going to see at the end to e-commerce sales. That's going to continue some type of climb, perhaps not quite as much as we saw throughout the pandemic, but that's going to continue. And so the labor issues are apparently not going to just flatline, they're going to continue as well. So how do you see that playing out? How do you see meeting the challenges that poses?
Absolutely, I mean, from our standpoint, TGW offers goods to person e-com fulfillment solutions, right? So what we're looking to do is make it as easy as possible for our customers to essentially automate their operations and decrease the amount of personnel they have on site.
Chad, we just talked about how customers are dealing with the uncertainty surrounding their volumes. Well, let's walk through that, let's develop that. What would you say?
From our standpoint, they have a difficult time planning through windows. So you had the pre-pandemic window, and then obviously you had the last 2 years. So customers are having difficulties really sensing how far these volumes will go, how their orders will change. We've seen significant changes to business models, lower volumes, higher pricing, and so capacity in the DCs has expanded, it's contracted. From the customer's standpoint, it's difficult to predict when they're really trying to solve the labor problem. So as they look out 5 years, they have to say, where do I really believe my volumes are going to be? Where do I really believe my capacity is going to be? And that's where we step in to help as much as possible from a digital solution standpoint.
Okay, so let's talk about that. If I put my customer hat on and I come to you and I say, look, this is the scenario I see for my company over the next 5 years, talk to me, what do I need? Well, what do you tell that person?
From our perspective, we attack the problem with a digital lifecycle solution. So we really take a suite of digital services and we say, at the early engagement with the customer, let's take a look at your data, let's take a look at the trends. Not only will we design to what you believe, but we'll also measure sensitivity in that. So whether it's through simulation, and then further along through emulation, we're really walking our customers through the process of developing a good solution that'll match their needs, regardless of a sensitivity change in their business. After we sell the business, really that's where we get into our lifetime services, artificial intelligence, and we also get into machine learning. So what does that mean? Essentially it means predictive analytics on how customers manage maintenance within their systems. So essentially, based on how they're operating, we tell them what they need to guarantee uptime. We also measure the performance of the system itself. So when you think about something like robotic picking, we have many installation and instances of robotics throughout many distribution centers. Our machine learning allows that collective knowledge to be accumulated and then dispersed back into the various installations that we have. So we utilize that to make an efficient process, reduce errors for our customers' business.
Okay, now we started out at the top of the interview talking about trends. Well, clearly AI, machine learning, this is something very, very big. People are interested. You and I are speaking to each other at the Modex trade show. A lot of people are interested in learning more about that sort of thing. Tell me why I need to have something implemented along those lines in my operation.
Well, I think from our perspective, when you look at the uncertain world, labor is not changing. We talked about that trend. Automation is a must in supply chain portfolios for large distribution operations. There are applications that work for customers. It's a matter of understanding how much, how far someone should go to automate their business. At the end of the day, when you talk to TGW, you'll be looking at someone who's going to measure your business and then alternate scenarios and work with you in your business model to be predictive about the uncertain future, create a solution that can actually accommodate those changes to the business and make that asset deliver in the ROI.
You make a compelling argument here for me to implement this very type of technology in my enterprise. Chad, I know you're busy here as one of the exhibitors, but I do thank you for finding the time to speak with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Russell.
It's Chad Zollman, TGW Logistics, speaking with us today about what could be happening in your operation, what could optimize your enterprise. Thanks for watching.